the more I can just sit outside and just think and be in my own thoughts, the more I realize that I could honestly live without having a phone, without having this thing, you know, ever again, truthfully. Like, I just think about all the ways my life has just gotten better in a short amount of time with not using the phone, basically. I mean, because I'm just sitting here, I got a notepad and a pen, kind of just seeing where my mind takes me, really. I'm kind of just sitting out here at night. Nobody's really out here. But I started to detox from all the bad things. I know that's like taking up most of my time. For me, it was like short form content is the absolute worst thing, and I used to never be like that growing up. I mean, I don't think really nobody was. Obviously, during like, what was it, 2020? Probably when like the TikTok scene came into full effect. And then, all the other apps started doing it. Remember Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, like YouTube. They have all this short form content nowadays, and you just see so much information and just so much. It's either dumb stuff. You got people trying to scam you on something. You got literally whatever. You have like the best of the best of anybody doing something, and it just makes me realize that you know life is just so much better not being on the phone, even though it's such a hard thing to do, right? Because it's almost like a drug in a sense, right? That's why you hear, the whole thing about phone addictions and everything like that, because there is a truth to it at the end of the day. And I realize just detoxing from the phone can solve a lot of problems. Like, let's just say you spent 100 hours learning how to play guitar, right? You're probably better than 95% of people, 99% of people even. Because, I mean, most people can't play the guitar, right? So you could probably maybe, after 100 hours, you could sit on a bench, get a little crowd around you, play a couple songs, right? And you feel pretty good about yourself. But then next thing you know, you hop on your phone, you look at some short form, some 12-year-old kid in China is ripping some guitar or whatever, and then you just feel like shit because now this 12-year-old kid is shitting on you, and you're like, man, I started way too late. I'm double this kid's age, and it's just a big thing about comparison. And I realize, obviously, comparison is the thief of joy, but just having so much stuff going on through through social media, through being on your phone, it's such a distraction, really. And I just realized how much time I'm saving, in a sense, without it. And yet it's so hard to just put the phone down. And it's crazy because we all know that it's a distraction, that it's not good for us. But yet here we are still hopping on it, and it's like, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to, it's not going to be the worst thing for you. No. But I realized just how my self-esteem just kind of gets lowered, in a sense, the way I feel, even just being like 10 minutes on Instagram or something, because that's the main thing that I use, uh between that and YouTube. Like, I'm not really on anything else. I think Instagram is my biggest weakness. The algorithm got me well. It knows me too well, and it got all the stuff I like. So it's like, it's hard because you think, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna be on it real quick, look at a couple things, those couple things turn to 5 minutes, turn to 10 minutes, and then next thing you know, I get the timer on my phone, that little 15-minute reminder saying, all right, daily time limit for the day, and then I hit, remind me in 15 minutes, remind me in 15 minutes. Like, it's just a downward spiral, right? So I delete it, and I try not to think about it. And honestly, when you take away, this goes with like any bad habit, bad addiction that you gotta fill in that time slot during the day. So if you look at your screen time, you see, like me, you had 2 hours every single day wasted on Instagram. You take those 2 hours out, you got to fill that with doing something else. Whether it's something that you're passionate about, you are trying to fulfill your purpose. Even if it's just going outside, sitting on a bench, right, with a notepad and your thoughts and a pen, right? Like it's way better than just mindlessly numbing yourself on the phone, because it's not just one app, right? All these apps are curated in a way to make you be on it, to keep your attention, to make you, essentially need it, almost like a drug fiend, right? We see a crackhead, on the side of the street and wonder why they can't stop. Well, I mean, you're kind of in the same position. If you know something's bad for you, right, whether they admit it or not, that crack is bad for them. They try to go through the steps of quitting, but it always seems like they relapse and they always need it. They fiend for it, right? Now, it might not seem like such a bad thing with the phone, right? Because crack obviously does strain to your health that we can see, right? You can see someone doing crack is not looking too well. On the phone, you can't see it surface level, right? It's within. It's within your mind. It's within someone's mind. You can't tell that they're drained. Sure, they might be drained, but you can't tell it's from the addiction of the phone, right? And man, I just think back to growing up. I really wasn't on the phone like that. Sure, I had video games, right? But that was kind of like an at-home type thing. I was a kid that was like going outside, being active, stuff like that, being in the real world, not stuck behind a digital screen and stuff like that. And it just seems like it's such a, I don't know, not just a distraction, but it's literally soul draining. It drains my soul. And, I wish this wasn't around. Obviously, I mean, because truth be told, I could go without having all the social media, all the stuff like that. I love YouTube growing up, video games. Other than that, man, like how social media is now today, like, man, it's just so bad, and I only see it getting worse. So maybe this video could be a wake up call for you, in order for you to, be conscious of what you're doing on the phone, right? Because it's so easy to, when you're waiting in line for your food or something, you just hop on the phone, and it's taking the whole human element out of everyday life, right? Because everybody's like sucked on the phone, looking at the phone, just so consumed with either with what other people are doing or just distracting themselves from getting stuff done that they should be doing. Okay. And this is just, to get you thinking, like, look at your screen time. Look at your phone screen time. See where you're spending the most time at. Are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Are you on any, social media apps? Taking an hour plus of your days, right? And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because when you take that time out, you got to fill it with something better, right? I'm not saying take that time out and then, all right, just go to the bar instead and start drinking or something, right? You fill one bad vice with another. Like, man, pick up another hobby. Get into MMA. Get into kickboxing. I don't know. What's something you always wanted to do? I feel like this life, there's no instruction manual on it, really. I mean, we're kind of at free will, kind of can do whatever. And it sucks not being able to do what actually makes you happy. Do something that you want to do, right? Whether you always wanted to, get into martial arts or something like that, but, it's hard to find a gym by you, or, it might be a little bit too much money. And then you think, okay, well, I mean, Instagram's free. It's a quick, distraction. It takes up my time, same amount of time it would be if I was at the martial art gym. But then you find yourself just drained, right? And I know I'm not the only one when I say, drained from it. But yeah, I just want to put this little message out there, kind of get you thinking, you know, how could life be? What if you didn't even have your phone? What would life be like if the phone was even a thing? Maybe flip phones. I'd be cool with a flip phone for real. Like people that are close to me really just got my number. Like I'm not even on social media like that. You can't really find me on anything. And that's kind of like the way I like it. Like somebody needs me, they got my number. They don't got my number. Obviously, they ain't that, ain't that important to me, right? So yeah, just think about it. Could you go without your phone? At least, you know, oops, with a flip phone. But that's where I'm gonna leave it at. Other than that, I'm out.